Cassie, and I am transgender. And today's video is basically going to be a 1 and 2 month hormone update video. I missed the first month update video because it kind of took me a minute to even, get my YouTube channel together, because for a while I kind of procrastinated on the idea of actually making one. But, here I am. So basically, like, for the first month, okay, so when you start transitioning, I feel like a lot of people feel as if you're supposed to notice changes right away or immediately as soon as you take the pills. A lot of people have that mindset where they feel like changes are going to happen immediately, and it actually was a lot, slower than I thought it would be. But of course, that's just the way that it works. For the first month on my hormones, I can say emotionally, I hadn't changed emotionally, because I feel like I'm a person where I've never been emotional, so it's kind of hard for me to cry. So as far as emotion-wise, I haven't noticed anything other than my anger. Yes, I get angry really, really fast, and now it's harder for me to actually let things go and just kind of like let the situation ride. I kind of just keep picking at a situation in my mind, and I'm not used to that, because at first I was always one of those people who were cool and able to let situations go if I got mad about it. However, I can say that they have made me calmer in a lot of situations. A lot of situations where I would immediately get upset, some things don't even, pass my radar anymore when it comes to me being upset about anything. So I can say that it has made me calmer, despite when I get upset, my anger is like 0 to 100. As far as physical changes, the first thing I noticed in the first month was mainly how loose my skin was. My skin was starting to get. My arms were very like loose and baggy underneath. That's really the first thing I noticed. But outside of that, I noticed how my skin had cleared up so much. I never really had an acne problem, but like I would always break out like on my forehead, and it would just be a little. And now it's like super clear. Another thing that I went through physical wise in my first month was after about the second week on taking my actual hormones, I started to feel tingling in my chest and my nipples. So like pretty much every shirt that I wore was uncomfortable. Like it's like my nipples were rubbing against every fabric that I wore. So it was to the point where I had to wear an undershirt with everything in order to keep my nipples from touching any fabric. But really, that was all the physical changes and emotional changes that I honestly went through in the first month. As far as the second month, after the 1 month mark hit, like a week or two after my first month, I started to get knots like on my chest. I don't know if you can see it, but I started to get knots on my chest, and they were really, really sensitive and kind of like hard. to touch. But I feel like when people talk about the pain of the knots, I feel like it's slightly over exaggerated, but I don't know, because I don't know, if this is the full extent of what it feels like. But to me, I feel like it's over exaggerated because it's not, it doesn't hurt as bad as people say it does. However, I can agree that I hit my nipple on something one day, and it was pretty much like the worst pain that I ever felt in my life. Um, and that's hard for me to say because I have a high tolerance for pain, but that it really hurted. It was like a different kind of pain. Um, but other than that, that's the only physical change that I've noticed into the second month of taking my hormones. But I don't know what more, could happen because it's like 2 months and like a couple days into my second month. So I'm not sure what else could happen. As far as emotional, I still have not cried. A lot of people say that, they cry. I haven't got to the point where I have cried. And I honestly don't know if that's going to happen for me because personally, I'm a hard person to, make cry. So I don't think that'll be a problem for me. But I feel like as far as this whole transition, I've had really good control of my emotions. However, when I do lash out, it can get a little, bad. But other than that, that's really it. Um, Other than that, those are really all the changes that I've noticed for my first and second month. But I will definitely be updating every month. So stay tuned.